Alrighty, so today we're looking at my friend Raze playing comp. He's starting off on Gibraltar as wall. Let's see if he ever presses tab. Okay, so roll lock is here. This is high plat ish. Um, and Sigma Ball, Sombra Widow, Lucio Mercy. So the good news is you at least have follow up in terms of playing ball, right? Widow can body shot the crap out of whatever you knock up with pile driver. Sombra can be cloaked behind and help out. Lucio can kind of wall climb and go in crazy. Gibraltar isn't a bad wrecking ball map because there are a lot of high grounds and different areas you can play from. But having Sigma is a little bit rough. Normally you would want someone who can follow up either a Winston or a Diva, but Sigma does allow him to stay on cart while everyone else pushes up. So it's not necessarily a bad comp, it's just not a great comp. So we'll skip ahead. So you whiff your rollout, but you kick ass. Okay, so you want to make sure you actually have the momentum to knock him off if you're going to try for that. That Lucio has got your number. Alright. So you're kind of flopping back and forth between helping out on cart and kind of causing a distraction on their main team, and that's not necessarily bad, but your team doesn't really have any like deterring forces. Like Sigma does a decent amount of damage if you hit both balls. Um, but like Widow isn't really meant to be dealing with people all up in her face, and Sombra, depending on how she's playing, isn't really going to deter them unless she's especially hacking everyone who comes close. So it's fine to kind of flip flop back and forth, but if you are going to do that, you need to cause more chaos and or get better results in messing with their backline. Because you kind of jumped in, you slammed, and then you kind of shot the Widow, but she was getting pocketed by the Anna, and then the Lucio was there as well, so you're not really going to kill her. So you try to knock people. It's unlucky that you don't actually hit anyone with your hitbox, and then you go for the slam. But like right now, it's a 3v1, and this Widow is going to kind of ignore you because she's naded and she's got Lucio heals and Anna on her. So here you might want to focus on Lucio or Anna and kind of stay in a little bit longer and try to mess with them so they can't heal whoever's on cards. Your colors are aggravating. I can't tell who's who. Okay, so you killed the Doom, which is good. And then you should have just kind of rolled on through. Instead, you kind of didn't, and then just kind of flopped around here in the back line, not really doing much but feeding ult charge. And then you kind of knocked Sigma, but that didn't really do much. So you ate the creation, but that's fine. So I think that's their Widow, in which case she is so out of position you should be murdering her. Wait, where the fuck did you ult? Oh, okay, so you ulted before. That that's an okay use of his ult. You want to use it to kind of zone and or make areas fucking shitty to go through. So while that does get the Lucio, it's not amazing. Wow, she whiffed her fucking sleep hella hard. Um, okay, the fact that you got the baby diva is more a credit to the diva's dingusness than nice. Come on, dude. Oh, lucky. All right, so you realize you're in too deep and you're getting hurt, so actually Sigma Minefield is not a bad combo because as long as you're just like a little bit off the ground, your mine should spread out to roughly his floor, and when he drops everyone, he can drop them onto your ult. So if he manages to snag a couple, ulting underneath them is not a bad option. Um, was that their Lucio or yours that just randomly threw out beat for fun? Your Mercy is not wanting to live. Alrighty. So your Widow's complaining because people are all over her, but she's playing Widow, so. So pushing and punishing that Doomfist isn't a bad option. Yeah, she's gonna hit sleep. That was lucky. You had no idea where that Diva ult was. Mercy's healing you. Alright, so here you're still running the same tank duo, so essentially your goal should be mainly to harass the Ana. It doesn't even necessarily have to be to kill her, but just to get her to not heal her team. Because if the Ana's not healing her team and the Lucio's coming back to peel for her, which he relatively has been doing, you can get value just by being in the Ana's face and staying alive for as long as possible. Diva's like feeding her brains out, but okay. Your grapple slash slam mechanics need a bit more polishing. Just spending some time on maps with like a lower cooldown, like 50% on grapple, and trying to see where you can latch on to go where. Because there's a couple times where you've tried to do something and you've either whiffed or you've had to use slam to complete it, and you want to try to save slam. Like you want to just grapple the high ground, have still have slam, get off the high ground, slam down, and then you can use grapple to get out if you get hurt. I mean, grapple's on a very small cooldown, so it doesn't matter that much, but it still can make a huge difference. Alright, so that Hanzo's still just chilling up there. You should be trying to get the respawns. There you go. Hit him with that big dick energy. Oh, you should just stand there and beat up the Lucio. Especially while he's got beat drop, because now he's going to come back and drop it like on whoever's left on cart. Yeah, that monkey just kind of murdered half your team. Who's your other healer? Um, that round wasn't entirely your fault, but there was definitely some mechanical issues with ball that need to be just kind of ironed out. A little bit more practice on each of the maps, I think, and knowing, having a couple of set, uh, like grapple spots and set locations that you want to play from. And like a big, when you went to Ryan, you did okay, but like when that Lucio was hacked in that tiny room against you and you had like 400 HP, beat the shit out of that Lucio so they don't have beat drop for a little while. Because then he's going to come back, panic, and beat drop right away, but it's not going to be as good of a position. Alrighty. So now you're Hog Zarya. Okay, so it was Widow McCree, Mercy Lucio. Interesting. Um, okay, no, you're Sigma Zarya. Hold tab for more than 1 second. Alright, so you got a bubble there to keep him safe. You guys are all near the edge, which is pretty freaking dangerous. So, so far, you're not getting a lot of energy out of your bubbles. And part of that is the comp you're up against, right? They've got Doomfist, Sigma, Lucio, Monkey. I don't even know who the hell the others are because you haven't hit tab. But yeah, so like you just used your bubble, got literally nothing for it. So you need to. Sorry, it might not be the right play here, and just simply because you're not getting value out of your bubbles. And if you're not getting value out of your bubbles, you're not going to get energy, and if you don't have energy, you're not going to do damage, and you're just going to kind of be useless. So you might want to swap regardless, just because. So like that bubble was crap. Like Mercy was already guardian angeling way to safety, and then unless he leaped after her, Lucio was the better call. I mean, it's not the worst thing because at least Mercy puts out more heals. She can get reses, and Lucio can speed back pretty fast. But in that situation, that would have gotten you 40 charge. All right, nice eat of the fucking sleep. Nice focus on the Zarya. And there you go. But throughout this whole fight, the highest you've been is like 20 energy, which is a bit rough. You need to try to keep an eye on who's going to get like seismic slammed and uppercut, and try to bubble those people because that will at least get you 20, 25 energy, and then from there you're kind of at least doing a little bit more. All right, so they're running Widow. Ugh, you're not going to get a lot of energy against this comp. Unless Widow, Doom, and Sigma all happening to focus the same person and you manage to bubble them, you're probably going to stay like below 50 energy the whole time. In which case you might be better off as like Diva or Hog. Try to bubble someone, yeah. Alright, so you finally got some charge. Now you don't have a bubble. Nice use of health pack. Nice use of bubble. Yeah, and you're just gonna get kind of bullied here. Yeah. So, you finally had energy, but this is such a fucky comp. Like, not just their comp, but also your comp. Like, when you grab people, you're not really gonna have follow up unless your McCree happens to have high noon and is saving it just to grab. So, even when you do grab stuff, you're probably not gonna get any kills. But at least you're forcing out beat. But then, it's just a very interesting game. Um, in terms of team comps because both you guys are running Sigma, and Sigma's not necessarily bad, especially because you can kind of close off odd angles against the Widow, but it's just very weird. Okay, so you went Monkey, so you're almost mirror comps. So you might just want to drop a bubble just so your Widow can peek a little bit safer. Put your Widow grappled in to feed her brains out. And you're down two. Alright, so then you went Reaper. Oh man, what a weird comp. What a weird comp. So I mean, you don't know what to do because it's such a weird situation. So I mean, right now no one knows how to play Sigma or who to pair with Sigma. So you're kind of, if someone's gonna play Sigma and refuse to swap off, you've got to just kind of accept it. And I mean, personally, I would treat Sigma like a Mei or something of the sort, but with less crowd control. It's basically better Mei walls for shittier CC, but I don't know. It's just, especially this last point isn't really a great Sigma point because he's got limited range and yeah, he's got a barrier, but it's not that great. So hopefully Sigma swaps off, but I doubt it. Nice. Honestly, you're putting in hella work right now as Hog. Unlucky. Alright, so that Doomfist is probably behind you guys by now, so you're gonna want to try to keep an eye out for him. And now they're running Sigma Zarya. Nice fucking hook and nice burst. Holy shit. Their Doom killed themselves too. So you're up two. Holy shit, bruv. What the fuck? Yeah, it's kind of unlucky that no one really pushed with you there. So now you're down two. And they've got Hanzo Genji now. Holy shit. Your hooks are fucking legit, dude. So yeah, I think going hog earlier would have been the better answer. So you're just focusing shield right now, which is fine because they've only got one shield, and once it's down, they've got a while to go before it comes back. And this guy's just wasting a shield before they're even pushing. What the that was stupid luck, but I like it. See, McCree is zoning. Oh, unlucky that you got stunned. Wait, what the hell stunned you? This might be a loss. Unlucky. Um, all in all, a very weird game. Mainly just because of like team comps from both of y'all. Normally for first and second point of Gibraltar, you want to run either dive on offense or maybe a bunker on defense. Dive is also fine. So running like Sigma craziness is kind of weird because I still don't know where like how Sigma should be playing it. Um, I mean, with the comp you had, you'd want him to be more passive and just kind of play car puppy while the rest of you pushed up. But obviously, no one really knows the optimal way. Um, you probably could have lost Sigma a couple of times and it would have helped you guys out, but that's not really on you. Your hog was fucking Nick Nasty, dude. Straight up, you had good hooks, you had good tracking, good aim. Like, I would say don't be afraid when things are kind of really shitty and team comps are really weird to just bust out the hog because that really stumped them for quite a while. It wasn't till I don't know if you got deflect flashbanged or if you got slept, but once you got stunned, then you were screwed. Oh, you might have been accretioned actually. But either way, like that was a main reason on why they got stuffed so hard. But if you'd pulled it out sooner, it might have been a little bit better, especially on second point where you can just kind of hide around spaceship and just hook the shit out of whoever you want from an angle they're not expecting. Um, but just a very, very weird game to review. I'm not sure how I feel about it still. Um, but I would say top tips for Raze would be wrecking ball. I guess movements slash abilities. You kind of had to use slam to save yourself because you messed up your grapple hook, and you shouldn't. That shouldn't really happen. And then the other part to that would, I guess, be like target, not necessarily target priority, but group disruption. And that would probably be what I say. And I guess that's it for this one. I'll review the other one and upload it as a separate one, so that way you don't have to deal with me talking for like 2 hours. I think half an hour is a good time for one VOD review, and then we'll do the next one in a minute. But all in all, not bad. I wouldn't put this loss entirely on you. There were definite parts that you could have done better, especially as Wrecking Ball. Um, and maybe your Zarya itself wasn't bad, but it was just with the team comp you were running and with the team comp you were up against. Zarya probably wasn't the best choice. Because I think if you'd been Hog when you were Zarya, you would have done a lot more. Because you would have been able to just melt the Winston or the Doomfist when they're being bots. But we live and we learn, we get better. And I will see you later.